Hi everybody, thank you for joining me today, Ross Marcagiani, and watching another video at Revolution Wellness. Today we're going to be talking about vitamin D. And before we get into our quick key points about vitamin D, I like to know what's going on with the supplement that we're taking. How is it interacting with our body? Vitamin D interacts with our body in multiple facets. But I'm going to talk about a couple ways how it interacts with the body that will pertain to my conversation today. So first off, vitamin D has been known to be a great autocrine signaler. So what that does is it communicates to our immune cells, such as our B cells, our T cells, and our cytokines. So that if we have a foreign invader or something that comes in that the body doesn't recognize, vitamin D can communicate to these immune cells and upregulate them so that the body can fight and prevent us from getting sick or getting that foreign invader into the body. It also has been known to create stronger gap junction connections. So basically a cell is connected through gap junction, and that's how a cell communicates to another cell. So the stronger the gap junctions, the more effective a cell can communicate to another cell. And lastly, it does a great job in upregulating antimicrobial peptides, which is another way, again, how to prevent any foreign invaders in the body. So next we're going to talk about symptoms of vitamin D deficiency. So a lot of people know vitamin D is associated with joint pain, stiffness, but it also has multiple associations with symptoms of vitamin D, such as headaches, fatigue, joint pain, hypertension, and the list basically goes on and on. So that's a key thing to focus, that just doesn't do just joint pain. There's a lot of other symptoms that are associated with vitamin D. Diseases associated with or linked to vitamin D. Again, a lot of people know the joint pain, so that we have a lot of osteoarthritis, osteopenia, osteoporosis. It also affects Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, schizophrenia, and the up-to-date and new research, there's been a strong correlation with cancer, such as prostate cancer, breast cancer, ovarian cancer, colon cancer. It's crazy that vitamin D can affect and have a correlation with all these different diseases that are pretty prevalent in today's population. So next we're going to go over reasons for vitamin D deficiency. So there are a couple big reasons out there. The first one is if our liver just isn't working correctly. If our liver can't convert the vitamin D, then we can't use it in our body. So that's one thing. Also, our body composition. If we're excessively overweight and we're carrying a lot of adipocytes, the adipocytes will take vitamin D out of the bloodstream and store it in the fat tissue. So that's another thing that we have to be conscious of. And obviously the big one that everyone is pretty aware of is our exposure to vitamin D in sunlight. So sunlight will come down, obviously, and we're going to take it in. The most important aspect of the sunlight is UVB, ultraviolet B rays. So basically the UVB will come down, and that's how we convert our vitamin D. So that's a big aspect in how we convert our vitamin D. So next here we're going to talk about ways to improve our vitamin D deficiency. So obviously with anything to how to improve our body, we're going to go look right to nutrition. And there are a lot of ways in just nutrition that we can improve our diet, improve our vitamin D. So with increasing our intake in meats such as fish, liver meat, egg yolks, dairy, fish oils, and the list can go pretty in depth, but those are the big ones that we're going to get a high amount of vitamin D. Then obviously sunlight, exposure to sunlight. So the more that we're getting those UVBs, the more we're going to increase our vitamin B in our body. And this is kind of a touchy topic because how much do we take in before we're preventing, before we're causing skin cancers or causing any type of carcinomas. What's that right, what's that good middle point? And it's been shown that 15 to 20 minutes of sun exposure during 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. and getting over 40% of your body exposed to that UVB is the equivalent to 10,000 international units of vitamin D. Later on in this video, we'll go over quickly what IUs are and what's the correct amount. And then obviously, like I said, IUs, taking in vitamin D through a supplement. That's another way to improve our vitamin D deficiency. And so you must be thinking here, well, how do I know if I'm vitamin D deficient? So this board here, I know, just has a bunch of numbers on it to you and you're not sure. I'm going to explain exactly what these numbers are. So first we have our 25 hydroxy vitamin D, and that is the gold standard of testing for vitamin D deficiency. So a big common mistake here is people will test their 1,25 hydroxy vitamin D, and this will give you an assessment on your vitamin D, but it will not be as accurate, and it's not considered the gold standard. So a lot of times doctors will take the 125 hydroxy vitamin D lab test and the vitamin D levels will look normal. And as if you were to take the 25 hydroxy vitamin D test, the lab results could be completely different and you could be considered vitamin D deficient. So I just wanted to harp on that real quick. 25 hydroxy vitamin D test is the gold standard. And what we have here is when you're taking that test, you want to look between 30, you want to be between 30 and 100 30 and 100 nanograms per milliliter. And to be honest, that's kind of a very broad range. If you're down near 30, it's been shown to have direct correlations with colon cancer. So you want to definitely stay away from that lower range. A more gold standard would be between 80 and 50 nanograms per milliliter is a really good number to be around when assessing that vitamin D. And then now we're going to hit real quick, what's the correct amount of IUs? What's the correct amount of international units to be taking for vitamin D? So it's been said that ages from 1 to 50 should be taking in at least 200 IUs a day. 51 to 70 should be taking in 400 IUs a day, and 70 plus taking in 600 IUs a day. And I know I have all the way up to 800 here. That's because the range, you can, if you feel and your results show you're on the lower end of vitamin D deficiency, you can increase that uptake. There has been no studies to date that have showed vitamin D toxicity. So it's really hard to overconsume vitamin D. And I know that's kind of a scary thing, but this is a really important vitamin that we can be taking. I myself take 100 IUs a day and have had 0 adverse effects and feel great. So this is a really important supplement that we should be taking and that we should be incorporating into our life every day. So I hope this video helped you out, and I hope it gave you a little more insight on vitamin D. It's just not just for joint pain. There's multiple aspects that is involved with our body, and it should be a must-have during your daily routine. I hope this video helped you, and if you know anybody that will benefit from this video, please share with them. Because like I always say, we're all in this together, and I want to make this world a better place. So again, if you know anyone, please share with them and help educate the world. Thank you guys for tuning in today. And if you have any questions or want to find out more information, you can go on www.revowell.com or email me at info@revowell.com. Thank you guys, and I hope you have a wonderful day.